Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Is it going to be a good one?
Yes.
We could use a good one, don't you think?
Yes.
Well, in Unity, we have this wonderful way of getting the year started. Unity, one of the things that Unity offers is this ceremony, this ritual that's called denials and affirmations. And if you're familiar with it and you've been around Unity a while, you also know that Unity takes a lot of criticism for denials and affirmations. Are you aware of that? Oh, those people in Unity, first of all, it's a cult. And they deny what's happening. They're like a bunch of Pollyannas. They act like it's not happening, this stuff that's happening. They think it's not happening. They think by saying it, it's not happening. Well, here's an opportunity for us to wake everyone up, ourselves and everyone else around us. That's not what denial and affirmations are about. Denials and affirmations are about the truth of us, that yes, stuff's going on, but that stuff that's happening isn't the all of who we are. It doesn't have power over us if we are aware that it's not the all of who we are. That if we're facing it, we're dealing with it from the place of knowing that it's not the all of who we are. That because we're connected to divine essence, to God, to all that is, to universal source, however you name the essence of life, that all things are possible. And it's from there that we do face this crazy world that we're living in, or whatever it is, the health challenge, or the whatever it is that we're dealing with. Questions or comments about that? So you see, so what it's about is getting clear that when I'm dealing with the stuff, whatever it is, that I remind myself, or I am reminded that I am more than this situation. I'm not denying that it's happening, but I'm remembering, hello, God is calling. I am remembering, when this happens, I always know that we're talking truth. Reminding us, that's right. Reminding us that whatever this is, I am connected to Source, and Source is all that is, that has the vantage point of all, from everywhere, that can see it all, that sees all the possibilities, all the solutions, from whence it came and where it's going. And so what I do is I deny the part of me that feels limited, that feels caught, that feels afraid, that feels less than. By claiming the truth of me, by affirming the truth of me as God in form, as the divine in expression. And I'm going to apply that awareness to this thing, this whatever it is I'm dealing with. And that's, in a nutshell, in a very simplified form, of what denial and affirmations are all about. We're absolutely facing whatever it is, but we're facing it from a place of power. Power. Because we're facing it from a place of truth, of connectedness, of oneness with all that is. So, it makes sense, doesn't it, to begin the new year with going through that process. And the way Unity does that is with both a burning bowl ceremony and a white stone ceremony. And we're going to do both of those today. You're getting two for the price of one. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? Yes. So let's remember, what's today, January 6th, 2019? Do you remember January 6th, 2018? No. Does it seem like forever ago? Yeah, kind of does, doesn't it? And yet the year just went really fast. It's a really interesting consciousness that we're living in, isn't it? That where things seem like it's forever ago, and yet it happened like that in an instant. It's really interesting. Both feelings are present. So let's say that it's January 6, 2018. And who we are today on January 6, 2019 is looking back at the you of 2018. Okay? And think about the year that you have just completed. No one else has completed that year that you have in the same way that you have. No one has had the very same experiences that you have. Yes, we've had some collective experiences in the world at large, in our country, in this church community. It was a big year. And so the person that you are today, in 2019, is standing on the shoulders of the person you were in 2018. You lived this year, and that has given you more awareness. You've grown. You've made some wonderful choices. And I don't know about you, but I made a few that were, wonderful is not the first word that comes. But the important thing to remember is we don't want to get caught or lost or stuck in the place that judges those less than wonderful decisions or choices. Don't get caught there. Don't get stuck there. If someone hurt you, if someone betrayed you, if someone lied to you, if someone did something to you, bless them and let it go. Why? I mean, the reason we hold on to things, do you know why we do? Why do you think we do? Why do we hold on to stuff? Why do we hold on to the stuff that happened to us in 2018 and in 1998 and in 1978? I don't know, were we all here in 1978? You were.
Because we'd rather be right.
We'd rather be right.
We'd rather blame somebody else.
We want to blame somebody else. We don't want to take responsibility. That's a very important part of it. And the one word that comes to me when I think about it is why I can hold on to things is because I'm justified. I'm justified, right?
Righteous.
Righteous. They were wrong. They were wrong. I was wrong. But here's the thing. To hold on to that resentment, you've heard me say this before, you know the definition of resentment. Drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die. Right? There you go. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of space. Bless the situation, get the lesson from it, whatever it is, and choose again. We can't change anyone else. And if you haven't got that yet, let that be a t-shirt for you in 2019. We cannot change anybody else. There's only one person we can change. Hello. That one in the mirror. That's why I'm always talking about that person. Because that's the one we can do something about. And the interesting thing about that is that when we do that work internally, our reflections out here have to change, don't they? If it's true that our experience and everything in it is reflective of what's going on in here. If we start changing in here, what's going to happen out here? Right? So that is the answer. So to hold on to the hurt and the blame and the resentment and all that stuff is taking up space that we could be using to heal ourselves and create a new beginning, to allow divine to express and work through us. Remember when you were in junior high school in science class and we had to learn those rules of the universe, and one of them is no two things occupy the same space at the same time? Remember that? Well, that's true. And that's true in spiritual realm too. And if we're holding on to a whole bunch of junk from the past, where are we going to put all these new affirmations, all this new stuff that we want to bring to us, to draw to us, to express through us in 2019, if we're dragging 2018 and all the junk with us? Right? Remember that image I gave to you? I still think it's a pretty good one. Of when the rocket takes off at Cape Canaveral. Cape Kennedy? Cape Canaveral? Did they change it back?
Once they did, once.
Well, you know where I mean, Florida. You know how the space shuttle takes off and it's got booster rockets? Remember we talked about this? The booster rockets that take off underneath it and it pushes it, the Space Needle, into orbit. That's those rockets' jobs. And what happens after it gets the Space Needle into orbit? They are ejected, they're dropped off because they no longer have a purpose. And if the did I say Space Needle?
Twice. We're not counting.
Okay, space shuttle. If the space shuttle was in orbit and it had those booster rockets still attached, it couldn't stay in orbit, could it? It'd be too heavy, it would drift out of orbit. They no longer have a purpose, and so they're ejected, they're let go, they're gone. That's you and I. Our life experiences are what are pushing us, are nudging us, are urging us on to the next level, to the next awareness, to the next growth, to new possibility. And then, when we've completed with it, we need to let it go so we can make room for the next opportunity, whatever that is. Get that? Questions or comments about that? If we drag it along, not that any of you would, but if we drag it along, it's taking up space, it's keeping us on the ground. We're not able to move forward. So, no two things occupy the same space at the same time. And ask Macy's, or JCPenney, or Nordstrom's, or whoever. What are they doing right now? Sales. Why? They have to get rid of all the stuff they charged too much for and nobody bought. I've never forgotten. Why did they do that? Why did they just that's another talk. Yes, they have to make room for what? The spring stuff. Can they bring the spring stuff in on top of the Christmas stuff? No, they'll have to have a can't move a muscle sale. Right. And so they have to clear stuff out. And that's what we're doing today. And that's the opportunity we have. Now, we're going to have little pieces of paper. So this is not going to be you writing your life story. This is not going to be an opportunity for you to do some of the writing you've been waiting to do all year. It's a small piece of paper because we don't want to set off the smoke alarms. So what it's going to be about is, the only person who's going to see it is you. You and God, you and Spirit, you and the ethers. So So all you need to do is write a mark or a word or whatever, 2 words, half a sentence, a phrase, draw a little picture if that's better for you. But what are you ready to let go of now in order to make room for that which is your heart's desire for this year? Does anybody need any support with that? Have you all got something?
Yeah.
You all got something? So we're going to pass out these papers, and I think we're passing out pencils too. And just take one piece of paper and just use it to just put a little bit of something on there, because so that you know what you're letting go of, what this physical ritual is about, that you're letting go of on an energetic or spiritual level. That you're saying you're letting go of, the sale time has come and you're letting it go. These are your booster rockets falling off because you don't need it anymore. It served its purpose. It served you. Now, this is not an opportunity for you to go to judgment. Well, I should have done. Well, if I'd only... No, we don't need any of that. That's just more booster rocket stuff. That's just more baggage. This is the opportunity to choose again. You know what it is that you need to let go of. Let it go and let it be. Be grateful for having had the opportunity, because what it asked of you is what brought you here today. It's what it's asked of you is made you who you are today. And believe me, who you are is a miracle. It's an absolute miracle. So does everybody have one? Do you have it? It's probably not going to take but moments. Because you've been dealing with this all year. You may have been dealing with this for years. But this is the time. This is the time where you're consciously going to do it. You may have done many burning bowls. You may have been doing burning bowls for 25, 30, 35, 40 years. But I'm challenging you or inviting you to let this be the one where you really let it go. Now, one of the things that is kind of like glue that causes it to stick is the feelings that we have around it. Feelings are the glue. They're also the inspiration for things. It's also the glue when you're trying to get rid of something. Have you ever thought about that? It's the feeling that keeps it attached. So we want to take some deep breaths and just check in. What is it? Is it anger? Is it grief that keeps it attached? And another part of that is identity. We tend to identify with this, right? Especially if it's been going on for you for a long time. We identify with it. So then the question becomes, who am I if I'm not this anymore? And are you ready to put answers together for that? Because we're going to replace it right away. Okay, any questions or comments before we go through the ritual of burning? Letting it go. Letting those booster rockets go. And I invite you that when you're touch your piece of paper to the flame and it's burning, that you say to yourself, to the universe, I release and let go of this and anything, past, present, future, body, mind, spirit, that doesn't serve me and my highest good. Let it be so, and so it is. I release and let go this and anything, past, present, future, body, mind, spirit, that doesn't serve me and my highest good. Who I truly am, my authentic self. Let it be so, and so it is. So, Ron, do you want to direct us, or shall we, what should we do? Get up and make a little line and go over it? Is it okay? It won't burn, or we won't set off at the alarm? That's okay. Because we're really not looking for the fire folks to show up. We love them, but. Okay. Aaron, do you know that song, I release and I let go? I let spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. I'm only here for God. Do you know that one?
Ricky Byers Beckwith.
Right, I could not play it by ear.
That's okay. Do you know it?
Somebody hand me a chart.
There you go. You can pull it up real quick on the internet.
Yeah.
Stay focused, everyone. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. I'm only here for God. I'm only here for love. I'm only here for peace. I'm only here for joy. Another thing you might do is you're standing in line and you're waiting and you're thinking about, I release and let go. What is it for you that is an image of that kind of movement? Maybe it's a waterfall, seeing the water moving, coming through the over the side and cascading down, that flow, that movement, letting it go. I release this and anything, all things, anything, body, mind, spirit, past, present, future, that inhibits or stands in the way of my authentic self and my highest good. Let it be so, and so it is. I release this and anything, past, present, future, body, mind, spirit, that inhibits or gets in the way of my authentic self and my highest good. Let it be so, and so it is. Wow, can you hear those big rockets falling off of the, whoa, bang! They're gone. this, and any and all things, body, mind, spirit, past, present, future, that inhibits or gets in the way of my authentic self, my highest good. Let it be so, and so it is. How do you feel? Let's take a deep breath. Okay, I feel a groan coming on. Okay, remember our groans?
Yes.
Let's do a really, really nasty one right now. I'm going to count to 3, and then we want you to groan, and groan from your feet, your knees, all the way up. And if we have to do another one, we will, so don't worry. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. Okay, stand up this time. Stand up this time. I want to make sure everything's moving. Everything's getting out of there that needs to go. We're releasing it all. I release and I let go. This and anything that stands in the way of my authentic self and highest good. Let it be so, and so it is. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, you can sit down. Do you feel better? Yeah. Okay, now what we're going to do, this is the second part of the ritual. We're going to do the white stone ceremony. Now, do you all know what that is? I think we did it before. I think I did it with you over on Trenton once, it seems like. The white stone ceremony is derived from an ancient teaching which helped individuals to focus on what lies on their path by selecting a new name, or it doesn't need to be a name, it can be just a word. The new name was written on a white stone tablet and indicated their freedom from the past. In fact, in the days of Jesus, when a prisoner had served their term and they got out of prison, they were given a white stone as a symbol of the new beginning, that they're starting to rewrite their history, rewrite their experience. They're starting again, they're beginning again. This comes from a statement in Revelations chapter 2, verse 17. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. To him who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna to eat, and I will give him a white stone, and on the stone a new name, written which no one knows except him who receives it. And what this is about is, now that we've symbolically and quite literally cleared out the past, that which is inhibiting us, that which is negatively affecting us, which is negatively impacting us, We want to immediately fill it with something because energetically, spirit, energy hastens to fill a void, doesn't it? Hastens, it goes right away to fill the void. And what you don't want to do is bring back that which you just let go of. So we want to replace it. And on this tablet, this is a symbol for you to have for this year. I encourage you to put it on your altar or in a sacred space that you have or carry it with you. And we're going to take a little time and do just a very short meditation to help you focus, to get clear on what that word is for you. If it's a name, it's a name. If it's just a word, if it's just something that says to you what it is that you're moving towards, what it is that you're opening up for. Does that make sense? Questions or comments? We'll just do just a quick little visioning to help you with this, to get clear with this. Because this is between you and spirit. This is yours. This is an exercise in intimacy. Into me see. So if it feels comfortable, close your eyes and get as comfortable as you can in your seat. Be very aware of how the chair is supporting your body and the floor is supporting the chair. And the ground is supporting the floor. And the earth is supporting the ground. And the universe is supporting it all. And become aware of your breathing. And I know you can smell the smoke. That's all that's left of that stuff. Just breathe and allow. Breathe and allow. And I'm going to suggest to you that what you see in your mind's eye might be a whiteboard or a chalkboard or a screen of some kind, a tablet. And it's blank. I'm going to invite you to continue to look at it and ask divine essence through you to place on that tablet, that screen, that board, a word or a couple of words that is for you for this year, for 2019. What is it? There's no right or wrong about it. It's just you and spirit. Take your time. Breathe. And for you, maybe you don't see it on the tablet, but you feel it. That's fine. What word is God whispering in your ear for 2019? Breathing and allowing. And if you have it, go ahead and write it on your tablet, on your little white stone. Write it, print it, make a mark, a symbol, whatever it says for you. this word and the blessing that comes with it is a lamp to light your way every moment throughout the year. It might be a word that it's not really clear to you why that's the word. That's okay. It'll get clear. Breathing and allowing. And we'll take another minute. And so breathing and completing this time. Completing what you want to write for now on your white stone. It's a new beginning, my friends. All things are possible. And we're grateful for this process, for taking the time to really set the tone for the new year. And as we complete and we take some deep breaths, there may be someone who comes to mind who could really use this time, this kind of time to let go of that which doesn't serve them so that they can make room for indeed to call forth what does. Think if we were doing that in our country and in our world. We're starting right here. It's a good beginning. And for the opportunity to be together in oneness.